Welcome to this video, which is titled The Selfless Instinct When Altruism Defies Evolution. In our exploration of human behavior and evolution, few discussions are as compelling as the understanding of altruism that transcends kin selection. Kin selection is the normal process of evolution in which you select the nearest and dearest ones to make available your aid or your help. But increasingly we find that altruism extends beyond this particular domain. While evolution primarily suggests that individuals act to preserve and propagate their genes, often seen in behaviors beneficial to kin, instances of altruism directed to non-relatives or even complete strangers present a fascinating paradox within the evolutionary biology that sparks deep inquiry into the complex web of human social behavior and cultural evolution. Altruism, as defined traditionally, is the selfless concern for the well-being of others, an act devoid of personal gain and sometimes undertaken at significant risk to the self. The quality becomes particularly interesting under the lens of evolution, which generally focuses on survival of the fittest and gene propagation. In an act of kindness which seemingly offers no personal reproductive benefit or advantage in a genetic sense, then why do humans sometimes perform these acts even when they may put their own lives at risk? Such questions were brought to sharp focus on a freezing day in January 1982 following the crash of Air Florida Flight 90. During this disaster, one man's altruism stood out, demonstrating human capabilities for compassion and self-sacrifice that seems to defy our evolutionary instincts. As storm clouds loomed over Washington, D.C., and the icy grip of winter held the Potomac River, a string of events unfolded that would see a quiet, unassuming man rise to extraordinary heights of heroism. The aircraft, hampered by inadequate de-icing and severe weather conditions, failed to gain sufficient altitude and struck the 14th Street Bridge before plunging into the treacherous waters of the Potomac River. Amidst the tragedy, the scene was chaotic, a desperate struggle between life and death as passengers fought against the icy cold frigid waters. Amid the turmoil, one survivor emerged as an instrumental figure, and he was R.L.D. Williams Jr. Though a bank examiner by profession, his action in the moments following the crash etched his name into history. He repeatedly prioritized the survival of others over himself by passing the life rings thrown from the rescue helicopter to fellow survivors rather than using it to save himself. This was an act which nobody anticipated, where you have a chance to save yourself, but he keeps on saving other people. Despite having every opportunity to save his own life, William acted with selflessness that defied the biological imperative of survival and self-preservation. As the cold tightened its grip and the helicopter made yet another attempt to rescue William had vanished beneath the icy surface, his final act of altruism complete. Initially anonymous and unknown only as the man in the water, the identity of the mysterious hero was unveiled in the days that followed. William's sacrifice was lauded nationally, an exemplar of human virtue and a challenge to conventional understanding of human behavior through the lens of evolutionary strategy. To fully comprehend what drove William and others like him to selflessly act beyond the bounds of immediate personal and genetic advantage, we must delve deeper into the evolutionary roots and psychological framework that shape human altruism. One framework evolutionary biologists consider is group selection, where behaviors that do not directly benefit the individual but might enhance the survival chances of the group, indirectly benefiting the individual skin and community genes. The model suggests that altruism can evolve if the benefits of an altruistic action to the group or community outweigh the individual's cost, albeit these situations are relatively rare and specific. Additionally, cultural evolution plays a critical role, as societies over time have emphasized moral norms and virtues such as heroism, bravery, selflessness through cultural transmission. These cultural traditions, stories, and teachings individuals to behave altruistically, internalizing these virtues as part of their identity and social responsibility, even when such actions may appear to contradict personal survival imperatives. Moreover, the psychological mechanism of empathy and moral reasoning suggested as evolutionary developments enhance humans to perceive and respond to the suffering of others, often motivating altruistic acts. The story of William serves as a poignant reminder of the deep-seated empathetic connections that can drive one human to act for another's welfare, overriding natural survival instincts. It reaffirms the power of empathy, enhanced evolution, where emotional and moral capacities enable acts of kindness and self-sacrifice. Furthermore, such acts invite reassessment of the individuality of evolution. While genetic predisposition may prioritize self or kin-focused behaviors, individual decisions influenced by immediate emotional, social, and moral contexts can and do defy these tendencies. William's story captures the immense moral and emotional courage that transcends evolutionary logic, prompting a dialogue about human potential for selflessness as a pinnacle of moral and social evolution. William's actions do more than provide a singular tale of heroics and altruism. They call for broader understanding of what it means to be human. They shine a light on altruism as a transformative force capable of inspiring communities and uplifting the human spirit. Such stories form a core of communal myths and shared heritage, reinforcing values that cultures prize and celebrate. In revisiting this story, we ask ourselves a fundamental questions about the nature of human choice, sacrifice, and the innate, perhaps spiritual dimension capable of such profound love and sacrifice. What drives a man to such selfless lengths? How do such narratives shape and influence our collective understanding of what constitutes moral behavior, community responsibility, and human legacy? The story of man in the water underscores humanity's quest towards a more compassionate existence, highlighting the extraordinary depth of human empathy and generosity. In remembering heroes like Williams Jr., we embrace the potential for greatness inherent in humanity, not solely dedicated by survival or reproduction, but navigating by virtuous kindness, community, and sacrifice. Ultimately, the tale encourages an evolved perspective on altruism and human social behavior, where acts of kindness and altruism illustrate the heart's capacity and capability to transcend beyond the bloodlines to touch heartstring of humanity. It continues to serve as a beacon of hope, a powerful reminder that even when nature follows a course dictated by survival, the human spirit occasionally writes stories of courage and selflessness that inspire us to look up and act with compassion, empathy, and altruism. This is what I wanted to share with you, the story of William, which has been very much publicized and very much available on the social media. But I thought I will make this video so that you are able to understand that we can transcend our limitations of evolutionary perspectives and go beyond to a level where it can be called spiritual. Thank you for watching and listening, and have a great life.